to talk about patterns with fives. So let's title our notebook page, Patterns with Fives. Now you know that when you multiply 5 by a number, you will oftentimes get a product that has a 0 in it. So that 0 can be confusing when you're multiplying by powers of 10. So for example, if we brought that 8 to 80, we would have 5 times 80. 5 times 8 is 40, and you have to multiply that by 10, which would make it 400. Now, what was confusing is in the last lesson, we hinted that you could count how many zeros are in your problem, and that's how many zeros will be in your product. But in this one, the product has its own 0 already. So, but you can also think, does this make sense? If I multiply 5 times 8 and I know it's 40, then 5 times 80 shouldn't also be 40. So it can be a little tricky, okay? So let's expand this out. Let's say we have 5 times 30. This is how it looks expanded. You would have 5 times 3 times 10. This is just so that you can see how it all works out. Okay, 5 times 3 is 15. Multiply that by 10. You end up with 150. There was only one 0 when we expanded it out and got to the end. Now it worked out because there was only one 0 here. But as we get a little bit more complicated, you're going to see how that pattern can change. Let's go with 50 times 40. Here's where we're going to see an extra 0 come into play. So we're starting out with 2 zeros. Let's expand this out. 50 is 5 times 10 times 40 is 4 times 10. I don't know if you guys can hear my dogs. Someone must have either left the house or came into the house. Okay, 5 times 4 is 20. See, now we have another 0. And then 10 times 10 is 100. So actually at the end, our product is going to have 3 zeros because 10 times 100 is 1,000. Okay, so we would have 2 times 1 is 2, and then the 3 zeros, which makes the answer 2,000. So do you see how that worked? I did only have 2 zeros, but because the product of 5 and 4 has a 0 as well, there ends up being an extra 0 in my answer. Let's look at 50 times 50. It's also good practice to do expanded form. This 50 would be 5 times 10, and this 50 would be 5 times 10. 5 times 5 is 25. 10 times 10 is 100. So here we end up with a 25 and our 2 zeros because it's in the hundreds, so 2,500. So now we can let's add even more zeros. Let's do 50 times 700. We have 3 zeros in our problem. Let's expand it out. 50 is 5 times 10 times 7 times 100. We have 5 times 7 is 35. We have 100 times 10, which is 1,000. So our answer is going to be 35,000. And last one. 500 times 800. Let's expand it out. 500 would be 5 times 100 times 8 times 100. 5 times 8 is 40. There's going to be an additional 0 in our answer. 100 times 100 is 10,000. 4 zeros. Okay. But 40 times 10,000, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So there's, I'm sorry, 6 zeros. Because this 10 times this would add an additional 0 onto there. Okay? All right. Go ahead and watch the video. I would like you to take additional notes with the video on this same page, right underneath our work. And then you will be doing a practice IXL and then an assignment on Google Classroom. Good luck.